Namaste. In today's video, I will be talking to you about an asana in Hatha Yoga called as Matsyasana. As the name goes, Matsya means fish. The name comes from the fact that this asana resembles the shape of a fish. Let me come to the benefits of this asana. The main benefit of this asana comes on the functions of thyroid gland. In this asana, the throat region gets stretched and therefore the thyroid gland, and thereby it benefits the functions of the thyroid glands. Another benefit of this asana is on the lung capacity. Since this asana expands the intercostal muscles and the rib cage, it improves the breathing capacity of the person. Third benefit of this asana is on the back. This asana arches the back and improves the flexibility of the spinal column. Matsyasana also improves the elasticity of the pelvic joints, reduces problems of piles, fissures and fistula. So these are the main important benefits of Matsyasana or the fish posture. Matsyasana is also a complementary pose to asanas like Sarvangasana. In Sarvangasana, the chin and the chest touch together and the thyroid glands are squeezed. So after practicing Sarvangasana, it is essential to reverse that effect on the thyroid gland. In Matsyasana, the thyroid gland stretches, and due to this stretch, it reverses the effect of Sarvangasana. So it is essential to practice Matsyasana or asanas which stretch the thyroid gland immediately after we do Sarvangasana. So Matsyasana is a complementary asana to Sarvangasana. Now those people who have got issues of spondylosis on the cervical region may avoid practicing this asana or go very mild and carefully. Now let me explain to you how this asana is done. This asana can be done in two levels. Beginners may practice this asana with straight legs, and the more you progress and the more you improve the asana, you can try doing it in Padmasana position. Those who have got problems on the knee or any injuries on the knee may practice this asana with straight legs and avoid doing this in Padmasana position. Now I will first explain to you how to do this asana and then demonstrate the same. Initially you have to start from Shavasana, just keeping the hands and legs apart and relaxing. After doing this, come to Samasthiti, keep both the legs together and keep the hands close to the body, palm facing the ground. In this position, first we have to take an inhalation, and during an exhalation, insert both the arms below the body. So insert one arm and insert the other arm below the body. So you can see both the arms have come below the body and my hands have come almost below the thighs, and the gluteal muscles are actually resting on the arms. So this step is done with an exhalation. As the second step, we have to inhale and raise the upper body with the help of the elbow pushing on the ground. So with an inhalation, I have to raise the upper body as high as possible and look at the toe. That's an inhalation. After reaching this position, with an exhalation, bulging the chest upward, put only the head backwards, keeping the crown on the floor. So you can see the chest bulges upwards and attains the shape of a fish. That bulge of the chest resembles the shape of a fish. That's why it's called Matsyasana. Staying in this position for about 3 to 5 breaths. Finally, finish that exhalation. Then the fourth step is inhale, bring the body up and look at the toe again. As the fifth step, Pancha, exhale and lie down on the mat. And the last step, sixth one, is an inhalation to remove both the arms outside the body, and then an exhale to relax in Shavasana position. So this is how you do this asana. Now I will perform this asana with proper breath control and steps. Now let me come to the important points of this asana. One very important point in this asana is while inserting the arms. So when you insert the arm, insert it really below the body. So when you insert both the arms like this, keep it fully below the back. So the elbow will come very close to each other and the arms will come below the body. And don't keep the elbow outward. When you keep the elbow outward, the arch of the back will not come. Therefore, keep the arm fully below the back and rest the body on the arms. Don't rest the buttock muscles or the gluteal muscles on the ground. Keep it fully on the arms.
The next important point is that you have to keep the teeth together, gently touching each other. So keep your teeth together like this. Do not keep the teeth separate like this. If you keep the teeth away from each other, the stretch on the thyroids will not come. Drishti in this asana is on the eyebrow. So when I look at the eyebrow, automatically the arch of the backbone increases. So don't look at the backside wall or the nose. Try to look at the eyebrow in this asana. Keep the legs squeezed and the toes pointed forward. And you have to practice Mula Bandha, lock of the anus muscles and the sphincter muscles. So when you do that, the effect of the asana will come on the lower pelvic region as well.
Let me recap the main important points of Matsyasana or the fish posture. The asana is beneficial for functions of thyroid gland, improves the lung capacity and also improves the flexibility of the backbone. It has got two different variations. The first is done with straight legs and the second is done in Padmasana position. Those who have got difficulty in the knees or less flexibility on the knees, you can practice this asana with straight legs. Those who have got good flexibility of the knees, you can practice Matsyasana in Padmasana position. And the effect of the asana is better when you do Matsyasana in Padmasana position. Other important point is that insert both the arms completely below the body and rest your back of the body on the arms. If you do that, you will get a nice arch on the backbone and it will improve the flexibility of the back. Other important point is that keep the teeth together so that the throat region stretches and your thyroid gland actually gets a good stretch. Keep gazing on the eyebrow, towards the eyebrow. If you look at the eyebrow position, automatically the crown will come inward and the arch of the back will become more and more effective. Matsyasana is one of the very few asanas where the spinal column gets a three-dimensional arch.
If you see, there is a back arch on the spinal column. At the same time, there is a curvature this way also. So it opens up the spine in three dimensions. It arches the back upward and opens the back sideways. So it almost comes like a three-dimensional arch of the back. So it's one of the very few asanas in Hatha Yoga where the spine arches three-dimensionally. You can see the arch.
Practice the asana with slow, ujjayi, controlled, regulated breath and following all the points that I spoke today. You will get all the benefits of Matsyasana if you keep all these points in mind. Namaste.